Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back from the ad break. You're still watching Prime Life. Now, we are joined by Silars Hlungwani, who is the founder of Chivalry Design, a pioneering interior design company that's based in Johannesburg that has been redefining African luxury since 2015. Now, Silas and his team are passionate about creating spaces that are not only look exquisite but also foster connection, comfort, and a deep sense of identity. I'm really looking forward to this beautiful conversation and just to delve into his business and his journey as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Silas, and welcome to Prime Life.
Thanks, Aisha, for having me.
You are welcome. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about Chivalry Design for those who are not familiar with it?
Well, Chivalry Designs it's an interior design studio and a retail store. We retail furniture, but at the very same time, we also own a manufacturing workshop. Started in 2015. It was just by coincidence or accident that we started. I never envisioned myself to be where I am today, but 10 years later, here we are. Like I'm saying, I started it I wanted to purchase a couch for me, just to start, but everything led to another, and this is where we are today. Yeah.
What do you mean it started by, it was not intentional? Tell us about the story where
Listen, I was employed.
Yeah.
I was employed. I was working for a company. I wanted to supplement my salary. At the very same time, I wanted to buy a couch for myself. Then I met this gentleman who was selling couches. I bought it at a very cheaper price, and then I realized that I can resell this. And then I started to resell. Back in the time, there was OLX. Before Facebook, there was OLX and Gumtree. And then when I realized that people received me with ease, and it was easy to do business. But I got to realize that's not an obvious thing. When I looked at around my peers, they were all disappearing, and I was just kept on going and going and going. And that's it. We built on it, from that to today, where we're sitting with like close to 30-something employees. Like I'm saying, you have a studio, design studio, and you've got a manufacturing workshop. So yeah.
That's a beautiful story. And when it comes to your design, I think I mentioned that you guys incorporate African designs and all of that into your designing process. Now, tell us about the redefining process and the manufacturing process. How do you make sure that Chivalry Designs is unique from other, designing companies?
First and foremost, all our items are locally made. And that means that it's made by the people that are from here. These are simple guys, and everything is handmade. The beautiful thing about it is custom made according to your needs as a client. You tell us exactly what you want, and then we tailor make accordingly. So we can do it according to the color that you want. We can theme it into whatever it is that you want. So that's the beauty about it. And that's the reason why when we started, basically, initially we only had a store. We were sourcing. But we realized that we always fall short to deliver what the customers want, exactly what the client wants. Because at the heart of what we do is the customer and meeting their needs. I'm so passionate about that. So when I realized that we're falling short, that's when I decided, let's devise ways to start the workshop. And that's exactly what we did. Garner few resources so that we can be able to meet the customer needs as per what they want and how they define it. Yeah.
Would you say that, because there's a lot of companies that design furnitures and all of that, what do you think sets the designs that you make apart from the other companies that are designing?
I really think while the product itself is very important, Aisha, but at the very same time, I really think that, like I said, our prime focus is the customer. Have a listening ear to what the customer wants and meet their needs. At the heart of everything that we do is the customer who've got a need. They want their need to be met. If you're able to do that, if you're able to fulfill that, then you can build on it. So sometimes I really think that many companies miss it because you're so focused on the product. And if you're so focused on the product, you are more likely that you'll find yourself imposing what you think is right and then overriding and missing what the customer wants. So our philosophy is one, irrespective of what we do. At the center of everything, the customer is the most important person in the house.
That is amazing. And now that you've spoken about a customer, there's probably a lot of customers that are watching right now, or people that will
Absolutely.
come across this interview sometime, and maybe they
Absolutely.
might be wondering, what is the customer experience like at Chivalry Designs? Like, for an example, if right now I look at your page and I'm interested in ordering something, what's the process like from consultation to handover?
So there are few things or few approaches. There's an instance where you can come to us because you are looking to buy one piece. So you're welcome. You can come into the store, you find a piece, and then you buy it. Or alternatively, you can place an order where it's just a one item basis.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna come to the store, select what you want, you buy. Or alternatively, at the height of everything is project management, where you have a house and you go like, guys, this is a blank canvas. I don't know what to do with it. Some try, some attempt to, and then they hit a wall and they come to us, and then we start to help. So how you do it, basically, you reach out to us. When you reach out to us, of course, we have a consultation fee. We start a consultation process and the conversation. The meet and greet meeting basically is about understanding exactly what you want, because each customer is different. And then after that, we then move into drawing up or conceptual, like putting into concept what you want. We take your ideas, put them down in a form of a presentation. It can be catalog, it can be 3D. We have different tools to do that. And then once you approve it, we start with the manufacturing process, and then we deliver. That's about it. Yeah.
That is impressive. And in the beginning of the interview, you mentioned that you obviously had like a 9 to 5 job, and
Absolutely.
this was about obviously balancing the budget and making
Yeah.
sure that you're able to make a living. And I wanted to ask, is the job that you had was related to design, or was
None.
it something completely different?
None. It wasn't at all.
Yeah.
I never dreamed that I would end up here, but I'm making the best out of it. I studied public administration. I ended up in data management, and then I served. Now I'm in design. But of course, when I realized that this is really working, then I went to study. Studied with Vega, just to understand the nitty-gritties around the design space, and it has really helped a lot. So yeah, that's it.
And would you say that the previous experiences that you had from your other jobs contributed to how you're successfully running the business now?
Absolutely, it did, because some of the work that I did, I worked in a call center, and I hated it when I was working there. But later on, because as long as you're dealing with customer, you will also be dealing with conflict as well.
Yeah.
You're always at the edge of conflict, solving every day. But 95% of the times you solve the problems. Well, 5% you might not be able to solve. And I realized that experience comes in handy, the ones that I had. And I always look back, I was like, I hated that experience. But now that I'm here, I look at them like it was for a reason that I was there, even though I didn't know. Yeah.
So in terms of, like, let's say the designing of furniture itself, in South Africa, a lot of people, whenever they think of designing furnitures, they think, oh my God, that's so expensive. That's something that I'll never get into, right? In what way do you hope your company will impact how people view furniture? And what feeling would you want to give in their homes or whatever spaces that they want their things to be designed for?
Okay, few things that I need to say is that custom furniture can never be cheap. And we see this on online, where people are decrying every day, I've been scammed.
Yeah.
You know, if something is custom, it definitely won't come cheap. You'll pay a little bit more than what you would ideally pay to something that you just come pick and then you go. So we have never, later on we got to find ourselves, and we have that niche market. So one thing for sure that we've stopped trying to do is to say that we're affordable. We know that we're not affordable.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because, like I said, we personalize it.
Yeah.
And I got to realize that matching what the customer wants or what the customer explains that they need, and you taking it out, is very difficult. And you have to be a bridge in between. Sometimes there's a misunderstanding, and as a result, it can come cheap. But still, there are people who, I can't say we are short of customers. There's a sort of an awakening in South Africa where people get to understand that you have to pay for what you really want. And people are paying. People are paying.
Most definitely. I mean, we are living in a times where people are big on aesthetics. People want
Absolutely.
beautiful spaces,
Absolutely.
and it's a beautiful thing, which means that it also benefits your business. That people are
Absolutely.
becoming open-minded to customing,
Yes.
their furnitures. Now, I want us to step into the business side of things,
Yeah.
right? I know with every company, there's hurdles, there's challenges. What challenges have you faced within this industry?
Wow. It's quite a lot. First, just being at first having started a business ground up myself, to shift the perception where people get to understand that the Silars, the chivalry. Now, one of the challenges that I had to deal with was every time when people come to the store, they expect to see me there, and I'm like, guys, I'm not a store. There's a store. There's me. So that it's very difficult to deal with,
Yeah.
and to get people to transition from looking at me as chivalry and seeing chivalry as chivalry. That is one of the challenges that I face. But more than anything else, into the real, you're dealing with cash flow issues as a smaller enterprise, and there is a gap in terms of support. It's not like support is not there
Yeah.
from the government. In some instances, it's that as an entrepreneur, you get to be so focused on what you're doing that you don't get to really know what's going on out there. Some of the stuff you find that when there are calls for entrepreneurs to avail themselves so that they can get supported by the government, you find that you're so busy because you have an order which, if you don't deliver, somebody will want a refund. So these are some of the challenges. But at the end of the day, challenges or not, you forge forward. You put your feet after the other. Yeah.
And what is it that you wish you knew before entering the interior design space?
Wow. One thing that I knew, I spent close to around 5 years before I went into manufacturing. I thought I was just going to be a seller, an interior designer,
reseller.
that's it,
Yeah.
And a lot of people will be like, you need to get into manufacturing. And I was like, I don't want to get there. I don't want to hire a lot of people. I don't want to manage workshop. But later on, I got into it, and I realized that it's so beneficial. But more than anything else, it's so fulfilling to see the people that are benefiting from this little empire that we've created, because you see immediate needs that are being met on a weekly basis. I mean, all our guys are paid on a weekly basis. When you see that their lives are getting transformed or getting impacted on a weekly basis, that sort of warms your heart. And I really wish that I would have got in a bit early, but it's never too late. We're here, we're building. Yeah.
That's a beautiful story. And if there's any entrepreneur that's watching right now, not only in the interior design or manufacturing business, but just any other entrepreneur that's currently watching and they're going through maybe a difficult time, or they're also hesitant on starting on this entrepreneurial journey, because we often hear that it's a very challenging one. What
Yes.
advice would you give to them?
Two folds. To the guys that have already started, there seems to be a culture that's creeping in of celebrity status and entrepreneurship. It seems like people just want to become celebrities when they become entrepreneurs. It's not the case. You are not a celebrity, and if you want to be a celebrity, you're going to fall flat in less than 6 months. Because you're going to take the money that's meant to buy materials, and then you'll go to Dubai or whatever, and that shouldn't be the case. So I really think that if people can tone down and on this need to want to be seen as celebrities, if you're an entrepreneur, you really get down, it gets dusty. There's just no time. Sometimes you don't sleep. You're dusty. There's just no time. Sometimes you don't sleep. To the guys on the other fold, to the guys who haven't started, who want to start, there are rewards to become or on becoming an entrepreneur, but it takes time. This is my 10th year in the space. And I can tell you that I've never taken leave in my life. I've never been to a holiday. I've canceled a few holidays. Last year I wanted to go to Rwanda. It's one of my country that I love. But I had to cancel because I realized that if I cancel, I'm just going to find my workshop in shambles. So it's never all gold. There are challenges, but it's worth it. And given the landscape, the economic landscape that we're in South Africa needs a lot of entrepreneurs, more and more. So people should come in. And besides, we're here, having been in the woods for quite some time. We can help.
Mm.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And now, how do you envision the company growing and expanding in the future?
One of the challenges that we experience is that our finisher is so appealing, and I got to realize we have a national footprint. So
Mm.
we've done projects in Mthatha, we've done projects in Polokwane, we've done projects in the places that you can never think of. So it takes a strain to travel, to fly, and to manage these projects all, even for customers as well, for
Mm.
them to fly all throughout to come and view at the showroom. So one of the things that I vision, even though we don't want to go into mass production, like I said, our finisher is bespoke. So as a result, we don't want it to be we don't want to go into mass production.
Mm.
Uh, my, 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 my prayer is that we have few showrooms around the nations. It's just going to be few. Possibly we're going to limit it to 5,
Mm.
not in all provinces. And then in the meantime, we're also talking to some few funding agencies who have seen our work and are coming on board. They want to help us to expand the workshop, to expand the capacity. And like I said, I have a heart for entrepreneurship. I've really grown fond of it because I've seen the gaps that it closes and the bridges that it can within the space. So what we're doing is when I get into training, we are hoping to partner with Services SITA, where part of our workshop is going to be the training center where we can train some of the guys, because the reality is as well, there's a lack of skill. I don't know, that is the reality of it with South Africans. A lot of the guys who are so skilled are from outside, and something has to be said and done. We can't just fold our hands and be like, the guys that are good are the guys from outside only. We have to do something. So my heart is there. These are some of the immediate goals that I'm saying that we want to see fulfilled in a shorter space.
And as we wrap up our conversation, right, with all the projects that you have done, right, which one would you say is like standing out for you? It was a proud moment for you to do.
We did a house in Mooikloof. It was the first time we did actually, there are two. It's very difficult to really pick one.
Okay.
There are quite a few, you
Yeah.
know. But there's a house that we did in Mooikloof. That was amazing, you know. And but more than anything else, I think it was the first time we invoiced 1 million. So you get excited when you invoice 1 million. And most in the operating word there is invoicing, because every time when you say invoice 1 million, people feel like, wow, now you're a millionaire. It's not money in the
It's not.
bank, you know. So, but
Yeah.
we went all out. We gave it our all, and it came out the way we had envisioned it, and then beyond as well. And the client was over the moon, you know. But at the very same time, even the other ones that we handled, they come on.
You happy?
Happy.
And I'm just getting more into details about the design itself, because I think a lot of people that maybe don't know what interior designing is all about, they're probably thinking it's just couches and I don't know, the dining set. So take us through the actual design that happened in the
It's
house.
so interesting because that's exactly what we pick up, especially in this age of Pinterest. People feel like designing is just to go to Pinterest and then just pulling up a picture and then you go look for it,
Yes.
you know. But it's not the case, you know. Like for example, there might be different elements to an item where it's made by different people. Like I said, all our items are made proudly in South Africa. So if, let's just take for example the chair. If there's a chair, you have to start making the frame, building the frame. After building the frame, then you have to procure the materials. And something has to be said about the materials that we have today, because we're having eco-friendly material. Thanks to our material suppliers, your Home Fabrics, your Hairtex, who are giving us that. And then there's the seamstress who comes to it. So there's just quite a lot in making the product that really goes into it. But at the end of the day as well, the customer has to be in the mind. That's the most important thing. And also the ergonomics as well. My guys know. I look at the chair, I'll tell you, no, that's too high. Take it down, because I know a customer won't, when they sit, they won't be comfortable in it. Yeah.
That's I'm sure that comes with a lot of experience in dealing with the different customers and understanding how customers work and what they prefer and all of that.
Absolutely.
But this has been such a beautiful conversation, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for sharing the journey
No,
of your
you're welcome.
business and just the journey of entrepreneurship as a whole. And yeah, we wish you nothing but the best in the entrepreneurship and the designing and manufacturing business that you're in.
No, thank you so much, Aisha. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Viewers at home, this was an amazing conversation that I just had with Silars Hlungwani, and we're speaking about the shaping African interior design with cultural authenticity. And I mean, this was so beautiful, and I hope that it just changed the way you also look at custom furniture, manufacturing, and all of that. And if you are willing to venture into entrepreneurship, and I hope this interview left you feeling inspired. But on that note, we will head over to a quick break. We'll see you after.